Hello, and welcome back to my Power Racers Retrospective. My name is Jack Beck, and today we will be taking a look at set 8648, the Buzzsaw. Upon first glance, we've got what looks like a bit of a rehashing of last wave's monster trucks, what with the balloon tires, the overall similar size profile, and the wheelie bar at the back. Though the wheelie bar can't be used quite the same, since part of the vehicle blocks most of it. Standout features of this set compared to last wave, though, are these set-exclusive pearl light grey recolors of the Matau circular saw, as well as the profile of the wheels, with the front wheels being further apart to accommodate the aforementioned saws, but which also help make the Buzzsaw look very powerful and imposing. I would also be remiss not to mention how this set introduces an element that would go on to become synonymous with racers, and in its best color. I'm talking, of course, about the metallic silver air scoop engine top. And it's not just racers, this element would go on to appear in a large variety of different sets, and I believe they're all better for it. Finally, the only other parts I want to call out are, first, this light bluish grey balloon wheel rim, for the third time now. It makes its first appearance here, and remains rare, as it only appeared one other time afterwards, in a set we will get to later. Second, this Tiny Turbo's windscreen piece also makes its first appearance here, as 2005 marked the debut of Tiny Turbos. But all of that is a conversation for another day. Now, let's drive this thing. With that, we've given both the pullbacks and the slammers proper testing. Now, let's turn our attention to the commercial for this wave, as it has a question I believe we can answer.
Welcome to the ultimate LEGO Racers duel. It's the pullbacks versus the slammers.
Go! And the race is on. The acceleration is extreme. Can they stay in control of this speed? Who's the fastest? Who will win?
Now, of course, we can't forget the combiner model between the Night Racer and the Buzzsaw. Here we have it, the Night Saw. Wow, my combiner model names are sounding more and more like bad supervillain names. Using over 90% of the available pieces, this thing sets the bar high, being even more effective in its part usage than the alt model for the Jumping Giant. This model does harken back to last wave's Red Crasher quite a bit. What from the mixed wheels, and the same wheel molds at that, to this floppy front, which feels even more like a battering ram with this model. At least this one doesn't pop up when the vehicle is pressed down. And, probably unintentionally, it can be perched up, like this. Looking at some details, I do like that these two discs were just tacked on to add more glow-in-the-dark material to the whole thing. If they really wanted, they could have added the two leftover discs as well, but maybe that'd be unnecessary. Speaking of discs, the cover art and instructions don't seem to agree on which discs should be where, as the cover art says the Buzzsaw should have its own discs on its own wheels, and the Night Racer's discs should be on the side, while the instructions say the opposite. I also like how all of the metallic silver is just lumped together here. I know this is probably supposed to be part engine, part windscreen, but I like to think it's all one big device. And there's a windscreen right here anyway. Though maybe it's supposed to be the hood, hard to tell sometimes with combiner models. Overall, this model is pretty hodgepodge, but I like it. Anyway, with all that out of the way, let's drive this thing. And that does it for today's episode. Tune in again next time as we make our way further down the racetrack.